Hello and welcome to Life After Work. My name is Solomon. For those of you who've been following me, the last video I put up was building my hobby area here in the garage. I thought I'd look at ways to improve videos, so I was going through some suggestions that YouTube offers, and they say you should write a script. Well, I'm not going to sit down and write a script. However, I have been thinking of what I want to put on this next video. First of all, I'm breaking it down into two things. One is I want to do a little follow-up on my work area here, and then move into what is coming up in the future. Go over some of that, but I also want to talk a little bit about my videoing and what I'm looking into, some investigation, just to solve a problem I think so many of us have, and that is what angle, how do we get the best videos without our camera being down where we need to be working and paying attention. So I'm going to get on with that right now. I'm going to be moving the camera around rather than just shutting it off. I may edit some stuff out later, but that's all right. First of all, behind me, this is my computer center. Now, I don't have three computers. Uh-oh, got an alarm. Here we go. I don't have three computers. What I have is a laptop on a base station. The base station is hooked into the screen over here. That's another computer. I bought my wife a new computer because she wanted a laptop on a base station so she could pick it up and take it. Otherwise, everything was always plugged in. So this works pretty well because this computer drives two screens, and I can have my email up over here and some other program over here. That computer she was using when I worked in China, and for several years we connected all the time we weren't at work using webcams. Now, I got to thinking about it. I've still got the webcams. These are the nice webcams with Zeiss lenses in them. They give good, clear pictures. And there's a program that comes with them so you can capture video. And I want to show you how that works right now. So let's just forgive the shakiness, but here we go. Oops, almost overshot. Okay, now that's going to be about as close as I want to bring it. What you get here is what the video cam is seeing. So where I've got this camera pointing over here, the camera that's up on top of the computer, and I'll get it, you can watch it move around. Oh, wait a minute, that's a different one. That's this one down here. But this is what it looks like. It's a nice camera. It's got built-in microphone. You put this on record, it'll record good voice and really clear pictures. So I'm looking at how I might ultimately use that. Because here's the thing. I'm right now, this camera I've got sitting down here by the computer. Let's see if that will show up in the picture. I have to go down. Hang on. There, got one down there, the other is on top. This one I'm moving over here. So now, if I wanted to change the picture, I just go over here to webcam video device and I select the other computer, and it automatically, or the other camera, and it automatically changes it. All I have to do is push this button and it will start recording, and that button is down here at the bottom. It will start recording the video. If I wanted to do just a photo, I can toggle a switch right here and I can sit there clicking photos. So I'm thinking, you know, this might work out for me. I haven't figured out exactly how yet, but that's a good possibility with that. Also, let me come around here with my built-in camera on the laptop, I can capture video on any number of programs, but it's not a real good clear picture. Those aren't the best cameras, so I doubt I'll ever do anything with that. But at least that gives me those two good webcams. And I've always got my phone. My phone is set up on a tripod right here. And if I wanted to, I could use it. I just keep it handy because I've got this extra little cheap tripod that came with this camera that I'm videoing with. And it's handy, so like when my wife called me, she went to the doctor's office. She called me and I just reached over and answered it. So I've got things convenient here for my high-tech work center, if you want to call it that. Now, as time goes on, I fully intend to continue to improve this. If it's not working, I have nothing else to do but change it. You know, this is my life after work. I want to get it right. So that's something I'm working on the side. Now, you might notice, or maybe you won't, because the sun's out today. It's fairly cold outside. Just for an update, yesterday I got up in the morning early. The temperature outside was 51 or 52 degrees Fahrenheit. In here it was 72. Right now the temperature outside is about 56, I think it was, and the temperature in here is 72. And I'm just using a little foot warmer down here. So I have no issues with the way the garage is staying heated. Now, my wife backed out to go to the doctor. I think you could see in the other video how big this front door is, because this is a two-car garage. And when she opens that door, you'd think that all of a sudden the temperature in here would go to 52 or 53, and when it went back down, I'd have to warm up again. Guess what? That doesn't happen. Our weather comes from that direction, not from that direction. Usually. Now, that doesn't mean it always does. But when it comes from that direction, when the door's open, if the wind is blowing, it might blow in around through here. But for all practical purposes, I don't get a whole lot of migration. The temperature dropped when she opened the door. The temperature in here dropped from 72 to 70. She closed the door and it didn't go below 70. In the dead of winter, she's still going to go out and it probably will get colder in here, but I'm not going to worry about that because, hey, I can't change it. If you can't change it, don't worry about it. So anyway, that's an issue. But another issue, it's a beautiful day out. The sun's coming in both the back door and through the garage door, the windows. And if you can't see this as clearly as you would like, then it's because I haven't upgraded my electrical yet. Now, when we bought this house 18 years ago, of course I was working 7-8 hours away. I'd come in sometimes at every weekend I'd come home, but I'd come in about 1:30 in the morning. I'd be up by 7. I gutted the downstairs, and I mean I literally gutted it. Took everything down. It was a disaster, but I had some issues with the architecture and the aesthetics. My wife loves this style house, so we got it. We got it cheap, so it wasn't a big deal. But I literally gutted the downstairs. I redesigned and rebuilt the kitchen. I redesigned and rebuilt the dining room, living room area. Every other room in this house has been touched. So that was one of my first chores to do. Well, I redid every single light in this house. I replaced all of them, updated them to modern lights. I've replaced some of them since then with even better lights. I upgraded electrical outlets, light switches that were getting worn, because when they get loose, that bothers me. I don't like that. That's where you get little shorts in them. the sink areas by code now, if you build a house, you have to put GFI or GFCI, whatever you call that. But ground fault interrupters beside every sink. Well, this house didn't have any. So I put GFIs at every sink. Well, there was one GFI and it was in a bathroom downstairs. And it tripped one day. Now guess what? All the power in this garage went out. But the power on the hairdryer next to the sink continued right on. Now, you know what that means. It's cross-wired. So, fix that. I didn't like the idea of using that switch box, or that outlet box, as a junction box. It just, I mean, code will allow it, but I don't particularly like doing that, but they did it. They did it when they built the house. And this was contractor built. That means nobody bought this land and said, here's a house I want to build. Contractors came through this area building houses and then tried to sell them. So they spent as little on them as they could. Well, I've upgraded everything in this house, except for one more thing, because now I'm out here. I've got one outlet back here, and right now it looks like a wall wart. It's one of those multi-plug adapters. I've got one outlet on that side and one outlet in that end. And then just two little lights, I mean single light bulbs in the ceiling. So what I've decided to do is, I'm going to get an electrician out here for this. I just don't want to do it anymore. But I'm going to have 4-foot 4-bulb fluorescents put over me here where that light bulb is, and one over there. That will light this place up beautifully. I'm also going to have outlet strips. Now these come in, I think, 3-foot, 4-foot lengths, but I'm going to have it start here, be tied in to this outlet. The outlet will go away, and it'll go across that back, so I'll be able to plug everything in there. I've got, excuse me, I've got these. Now, anybody that's worked with a computer desk knows what these are. These you put down in your tops, and you can run your wires through them so that it's nice and neat. You don't have to just drill rough holes. Well, I'm going to put this back in the back of that side right there, run this cord down through it. I've got a rubber cord protector that's used for running cords across walkways. I'm going to run it over to this desk. I've got one light here that, I'll just turn it around and let you see it. This light right here. This was one of my father's old lights that went to his desk. It goes down back here, and the base of it is not just a narrow base. It's kind of a thick base. Well, it's got 2 outlets on it, so plug it in. I've got 2 more outlets, but what I'm going to use these outlets for are charging my camera batteries and charging my Dremel tool battery. So that'll work well. I'll be covered probably as good as I will need to be, but that will give me light, that will give me power. I'm going to have another strip put on the other side of the garage. That strip is going to be for battery charging station for all of the batteries that go to our lawn and yard equipment. And I'll let you know right now, I'll make sure that my wife has the best lawn and garden equipment money can buy. So we've got plenty of battery operated things, and I'm going to make that charging station with another strip over there. So that'll kind of get the electrics up. I'm also looking at underneath this cabinet here, along the bottom in the toe kick area. See if I can find a strip heater that we can just permanently wire into the house, so I won't need the little tripping hazard over here. And it'll be there. I don't know what it'll look like. I don't know if they have the resistance heaters like that, but at any rate, I'm going to try that. That way it'll kind of clean up the floor space here. So anyway, that's kind of an update on things I have left to do. I've got to get my additional shelves in these shelving units so I can get a few more things off the tabletop. And then, you know, it's starting to come together.